Hello and welcome back to the Heroes Hype Amateur Series. I am Gillyweed and we have another game up for you from the round of 8. So it's still going to be a best of 1. And I'm joined by Anna Prosser-Robinson. Hi, Anna.
Hello. How's it going, Gilly?
Pretty good, pretty good. Having some technical stuff, guys. But I hope that it's pretty ironed out. Let me know if my mic is still too low or if it's too high now or whatever. Sorry about that. Otherwise, going great. I'm having a great time casting these really, really fun games. How about you?
I'm having a great time too. This is a really fun tournament that Miss Honey of Heroes Hype has created. Really cool vibe around it. And this has been my first few weeks ever of actually casting a tournament. I've tried my hand with you at it on our show on the Storm quite a couple times, but this has been really fun, and this is our first time at production. It's going pretty well with your guys' help. Thank you, viewers. Really appreciate that. We have some really fun teams here. We are getting to see one of the teams we've seen before, Infinity Gaming. There were 17 teams signed up, I guess, so we did have one extra round one. So that's why we're still in round 3. And then our next game, if I'm not mistaken, should be the semifinals. But we are getting into the draft right away. We have Infinity Gaming and SG Sublimation facing off this time.
Yep, and once again, the thing has messed up, so why don't you let us know what map we're on and how the map's going to work, please?
Sure, we are on Cursed Hollow this time, so no repeat maps so far. That's really nice. Cursed Hollow is one that a lot of people like because it forces a lot of team fighting, a lot of strategy, really, really fun. There are 6 spots on the map where tributes can spawn. When tributes spawn, it's your job to go try to grab them, because if you get 3 tributes to your name, then you will convince the Raven Lord that he should curse your opponents. And if he curses your opponents, that means all of their buildings have no ammo and all of their minions are 1 hit point. So it is not a good situation to be in. It's easy to push down all of their walls and kill all of their minions at that point. So something that you want to make sure that you are keeping from happening to you. Lots of team fight that happens because when a tribute is on the line, people will run for it from all corners of the map.
For sure, for sure. And I've got it fixed. That was the fastest I've done so far. Yay! So we've got first pick and first ban from SG Sublimation, and they've chosen to ban Lost Vikings. You called this last game. So this is the first time that we've seen Lost Vikings make an appearance. Unfortunately, it won't be a real appearance, as the appearance is just a ban.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Probably SG Sublimation is paying homage to the fact that, like we said, the tributes can spawn anywhere, and if you're on the wrong side of the map, but you can send one of those fast little Vikings over to grab it while the rest of you are team fighting on one side of the map, that can be pretty devastating. They're also really good for soaking experience, keeping 1 in each lane or 2 in one lane, 1 in another, those kinds of things. So they don't want to deal with that. They're saying, Infinity, you cannot play Vikings. Too bad for you. And Infinity's saying, fine, but then you can't play Sergeant Hammer, who's also a killer on this map.
Yeah, for sure. Those you mentioned the experience gain for Lost Vikings, and any map where you have to completely leave to take care of an objective presents an excellent opportunity for the Lost Vikings, because they're able to sit and still gain experience in even at least 1 lane, maybe 2, and that forces you to either have to keep your own heroes there, sending fewer to get the curses, or you have to let them get the experience lead. So the first pick from SG Sublimation has been Vala, and Infinity immediately counters with Rhaegar, something we have seen over and over again today.
Yeah, are we still 100% on both of those heroes in these games? I think we are.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It seems that Rhaegar might be the next wingman, or wing wolf, if you will.
Yeah.
And there
Not
we have
bad.
it, Rhaegar Illidan. We're gonna get to see it. I'm so excited.
Explain, in case people weren't watching before, explain why you're so excited to see Rhaegar Illidan.
Well, Illidan, as I mentioned before, definitely needs a lot of heals to stay alive, but does a ton of damage if he can do so. It requires him to be pretty divey, so having heals is great, but having that ancestral heal from Rhaegar is even better. Also, the totem helps slow down people so that Illidan can catch up and continue to chase, and the shield thrown on Illidan just will deal extra damage. They just synergize so well together, and that, like I said, that ancestral heal always available too, so that Illidan can run in, deal a ton of damage, get low, but then all of a sudden be fully healed again and deal more damage and then get out.
Yeah, it's like a rewind for his health, kind of, maybe.
For his soul. Even.
Yeah, there you go.
I would even say that.
Who doesn't want to rewind for their soul, Gilly? We get deep here on Heroes Hype Amateur Series. So speaking of deep, Sublimation. Oh, Gilly!
Ah!
It's a Brightwing.
Ah!
Interesting, because we don't see as much Brightwing lately. People usually wanting to grab some of those more popular healers. Rhaegar, of course, being one of the top that we already saw. We've seen a lot of Uther. We've seen even some Tyrande and Tassadar, those kinds of people. Brightwing, not so much lately. Why do you think that is, Gilly, and why do you think we're seeing it now?
Brightwing had what would be considered a nerf in the last major patch when Rewind was moved to level 20. And Polymorph, there's also some changes to mana and that type of thing. So just a little bit of a nerf. I still think she's in a fine place, but, before she was picked all the time, now she's sort of more of a normal pick, I suppose, and not top. But I think maybe the Emerald Wind to throw Illidan off could be a possibility. I also just really happen to like Blink Heal. I think that with Blink Heal, she's got a ton of mobility. Mobility is great on this map. It's really quite big. And even so, if maybe they were to go with the bribe option too, I think she's just, pretty good all around for this map too, and possibly they're looking to try to counter that Illidan a little bit. They've also picked up Diablo. Anna continuing the Diablo reign.
I know, I love it. And these tributes, the way that it forces you into kind of a little circle of fightingness, having an apocalypse go off in one of those can be devastating. So that's going to be really exciting to watch. And I think you're right with Brightwing being able to just kind of pop all over the map and fly very quickly from place to place. It's going to compensate a little bit for maybe the slowness of Diablo or something like that. So really fun. I'm excited to see how that goes. And we do see new picks from Infinity Gaming coming out as well. Not surprised to see another support, of course. Tassadar, great pick as a complement second support, I think.
Yeah, I'm quite interested that they picked a Tassadar. I'm wondering if they'll still go as far as to pick another support, or if they're thinking that Rhaegar and Tassadar's shields will be enough for the Illidan, or if they're wanting to do tons of heals. Sometimes you see Rhaegar Mouth, sometimes you see Rhaegar Uther. I'm guessing that they'll probably just stick with the Rhaegar Tassadar, but very interesting to see. Everyone's dipping into their time pool pretty heavily, so they're really taking the time to figure out what the other team's going to do and what's going to be best for them. And they've decided to pick out the Tychus.
So definitely wanting to make sure they have enough damage to deal with what's going to go on from SG Sublimation. They know that Diablo is especially hard to kill. Brightwing's got a lot of healing capability, so they're saying we got to make sure our damage is beefy. They haven't grabbed a tank yet, though, so they're probably in that situation just like we had in a previous game where they're kind of okay with taking whatever's left. But interestingly enough, Stitches is still on the table, and Sublimation has already picked Diablo. So we may be seeing Infinity getting a Stitches last pick, which is sometimes a little bit rare.
Yeah, very rare. Stitches is still up. ETC is still up as well. Another super solid pick for tank. So either of those I could definitely see coming out. We've got Lily. What is this team?
Brightwing Lily dual support. Now Sublimation is saying none of that 1.5 support BS. We're just gonna have purely healing little guys running around the Demon King and feeding him all sorts of heals while Vala hangs out behind and shoots your face.
These are my favorite supports. So guys, I'm in heaven right now. Lily's definitely going to be, unless, I don't want to say definitely because I could be completely, fooled by SG Sublimation with the pro strats, but I'm guessing that with the cups from Lily, we're definitely going to see an Emerald Wind out of Brightwing, and that will help just sort of keep that Illidan off. It does damage. It'll be able to keep Illidan off of the squishies like Vala, and I think they'll just be looking to round out their damage here. They've got 5 seconds to pick their damage. Who's it going to be?
Is that a random? Or did they pick on time? Zeratul's not a bad pick, so hopefully it was what they meant. But yeah, they did run out of time. Who knows? And then a very, very quick response from Infinity Gaming saying we would like ATC as our tank. So no Stitches, no pick or ban on Stitches, which is a rarity right now in the pro scene. But these teams aren't afraid of being a little bit different. SG Sublimation's team comp is proof enough of that.
Yeah, loving the team comps. I'm super pumped to check these out. I'm just kind of messing with the overlay a tiny bit to make sure that nothing's getting in the way with all of the game that we want to watch. And it sounds like we're about ready. Everyone's picking up their heroes. And we're going to be on Cursed Hollow. Oh.
You're really excited, I can tell. I know how you feel about Brightwing and Lily.
Wait a second. That Lily pick was... Oh, wait, it was. I saw Tyrande for a second, and I was like, maybe that was an accident.
We did have that happen in one game where we had an accidental Falstad pick instead of a Sonya pick last week. Both of their bright red hair being right next to each other in the draft picks. So it is possible for a misclick to happen, and generally teams are pretty nice about letting there be an undo or a redo. But in this case, looks like everything was on purpose.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't contain my excitement. This is going to be really cool. I'm really excited to see, of course, what the ETC does. Mosh Pit is really great for these close quarters fights, but then again, having stage dive means that you can be, at every single tribute fight, even if you're cross map. It really gives you that mobility, just like Brightwing. So I think that's really, really cool too.
Yeah, good point.
Any sort of thoughts? I think they're just final ready checks and all that sort of thing.
Well, I think that SG Sublimation being built kind of around the Diablo is really interesting. The Zeratul pick was kind of something that I don't know if we've discussed yet, which I think is really interesting. His stealth capabilities are great. He's picked, kind of in the damage role, I guess, for them, which makes sense, but I guess I didn't know what to expect. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to play out, but I'm interested to see where they'll position Zeratul in terms of the fighting. Mm-hmm. And I think you're right that what's really going to come into play is the ability to be in multiple places at once, or be somewhere quickly, or stay in a lane to soak experience until the very last second and then come team fight. And both teams have some ability to do that. And Zeratul can kind of not reveal where he is at any given time, which may be helpful too. I don't know. This is going to be really, really interesting. We're kind of going to see what these teams have up their sleeve. But I think it's going to be really interesting to note too that, sometimes we see these really new, kind of fresh, unexpected team comps, and we expect them to do really big things, and they kind of can't match up against the very established, more expected picks. And then other times we see them really blow our mind. So, of course, we always hope that it's going to blow our mind and change everything and hashtag new meta. But maybe they'll have an uphill climb, because we definitely don't often see a Lily Brightwing situation.
Yeah, my main concern there is Lily does a ton of damage early game, which will be great, but my concern for them will be just keeping up with the damage as well. But let's go ahead and introduce these teams. For on the blue side, we've got SG Sublimation. We have Cuddy, Fires, yes, Kirby Team, Gumball, and Tiddlywink.
And on the red team, whose name I am already forgetting because I don't have the correct windows open.
Infinity Gaming.
Yes, Infinity Gaming, again in red, which I can remember now, is Steel Rain on Tassadar, Shot on Illidan, Scarlet playing Rhaegar, Spade War controlling ETC, and Enigma with Tychus. They're going for 3 top, all hiding in this bush from Infinity Gaming, and they are going to be up against Cuddy on Diablo as soon as he shows his big demonic face. Probably knowing something is going on though, because there are 3 bottom from SG Sublimation, and they're seeing that only ETC is bottom, so they've got to know something is up.
Yeah, each team positioning 3 heroes on their side so that they can push where their Golem would be pushing later on. But we do see the Fires has decided to move up and help out Cuddy just a bit, who are going to be heavily engaged on by Shot and Enigma before everyone disengages. Brightwing taking a little bit of damage, but she'll be able to heal that up with all that passive healing for sure.
Absolutely. Really watching where they're placing those healers. We've got Lily in the bottom and Brightwing in the top. Brightwing is staying very close to Diablo because Brightwing does have that pulse that does healing. So kind of just every now and then, here you go, here's some HP, here you go. And Cuddy definitely appreciates that. Cuddy is pretty hard to kill already.
Interesting. We're seeing the greater cleave from Zeratul. A lot of times you see block from him, so maybe he's taking more of a damage stance since he knows that he has 2 healers there to keep him safe. And then also seeing more of a damage build from Lily starting out by increasing blinding wind damage by 50%. I'm getting even more excited because is damage Lily possibly? Are we gonna see it maybe?
Well, I was going to say Lily is taking this bottom lane by herself versus ETC, which isn't uncommon to see in an early game. Lily is pretty strong in the early game. And so, you know, usually you'll see her then transition into more of that healer role. But if she's already focusing on damage, I dare not predict what they're going to be up to.
Dare you. You dare.
It does look like Illidan coming down to help out ETC against this little panda. And Little Panda is still being able to handle them both as Illidan is getting low and ETC has to take over yet again.
Lily is such a boss. But here we go, guys. We've got the first tribute. Each team very close on experience, so that's going to be really good for both of them going into this. We do have 4 heroes on top, but Brightwing is able to teleport in, which is going to give SG Sublimation a little bit of advantage here right at the beginning, as they'll have more people here. Tiddlywink getting thrown out of position by the ETC, but able to continue to heal herself. Kirby team dropping a lot of damage on shot. Spade War and Illidan on shot are going to move away. Can Kirby team take out? Oh, does take out the shot on Illidan. And Brightwing's like, hey guys, I'm here. I might as well just pick up the tribute. And they grab the first tribute and a kill on Illidan.
Wow, and you know, I think that it was probably in the plan that Infinity Gaming said we're not going to commit too much to this tribute. First tribute not being that important, as you do need 3 tributes in order to get a curse. So you really don't want to lose out on early game experience. If you can take enough experience to kind of get yourself in a better position to take the second tribute, that's fine. We did see Scarlet and Enigma not even budging from this top lane that entire time, which did keep Cuddy up there as well. So it left the little supports to fight over the tribute, and the little supports did come out victorious. But I don't think that that was something that Infinity Gaming was really attached to. Although we can see that Infinity Gaming, even though they made that choice, is not ahead in XP.
Right.
They're a tiny, tiny smidge behind.
When you choose to give up a tribute to gain more experience, you have to make sure that you don't lose somebody to that, or else it's kind of all for naught, and you have to really, really push. So unfortunately for them, not quite going as planned, but they're still catching up. They're still fine. They're both at level 7 talents, so so all is fine.
Yeah, we will see as the new tribute spawns whether the positioning is going to be a huge issue, as we do have 2 members of Team Infinity Gaming as well as 2 members of SG Sublimation here in the top lane. They're all ready to take that, and so it's going to be a fair fight, except for that Lily and Vala look to be on their way, and it looks like everyone except these 2 in the bot lane might be converging on that tribute, so we will have a bit of a team fight.
Yep, everyone's trying to just keep Kirby team up. Both the supports are trying to keep her alive. She's crucial as she does so much damage. Enigma is dropping a lot of damage on fires. Will Brightwing be able to get away? Shot jumps in and is able to take out the Brightwing, trying to move in further, but it looks like SG Sublimation will just disengage and let Infinity Gaming pick up the second tribute. And now we're 1-1 on tributes.
It looked so many times like Shot was in trouble, but I guess that healing from Rhaegar just was very, very convincing, because Shot has come out looking unscathed.
Rhaegar, Illidan. And they are even choosing to take a very early boss. They're trying to sneak this boss right now. And that would be crucial, because either SG Sublimation would have to abandon a tribute to try to defend the boss, or they let the boss wail on their structures very early in the game while they go and try to collect the tribute.
Yeah, and SG Sublimation definitely not neglecting the fact that they have mercenaries to take care of. They're grabbing their bruisers at the same time, but they will be a little bit worse for wear for that, and the tribute has spawned on the bottom, so they're going to have to really quickly heal up or just run and try to grab that tribute as fast as they can. Their opponents, Infinity Gaming, are a bit out of position, so if they can do it fast enough and be in the right position, they might be able to grab it.
Brightwing has decided to teleport in, and they're going to abandon that giant for now. ETC is going to stage dive in. A Gumball drops the Void Prison, and they're going to try to take out ETC before the Void Prison stops. with the Apocalypse following the Void Prison as well. Gumball's jumping away. Shot is going to follow him. Is going to be able to take out the Zerodol. Maybe Lili's trying to do everything to keep him alive, but no. The force was too strong, and now Brightwing and Zerodol and Vala have all dropped, leaving the boss pushing on top, and Infinity Gaming to go and pick up that tribute. That's the hardest part, man. The team names, the hardest part, casting.
It is true. And Infinity Gaming coming out really well out of that fight. You know, they did, like we said, kind of give up that first tribute. They didn't gain the experience they wanted from that. But so this time they said, all right, we're going to grab the tribute, and we're going to let our boss be pushing up top, and we're going to grab lots of experience, and now they're going to push mid. And they've put themselves in a very good position at this point.
Now, I would like to point out, Anna, some interesting talents that we have here. As we look at the level 10 talents, Draken Laser Drill again from Enigma's Tychus. So once again, the Laser Drill. But there's also a Water Dragon from Lily. No cups. The Emerald Wind, like I thought, from Brightwing, but with the addition of the Water Dragon.
Wow. So Emerald Wind and Water Dragon. So no Blink Heal and no cups.
Exactly. Battles.
What are they doing?
All around. I don't know. Right now they're trying to keep Lily alive, though. With no cups means she has to be far less aggressive. But Infinity Gaming is able to pick up the tribute, and now Shot is going to jump in. He's trying to get something done. The Water Dragon, there it goes, it's dropping. But so is the Void Prison. Emerald Wind pushing everyone away, and the Apocalypse stuns everyone too. Gumball's trying to take out somebody. Steel Rain maybe, but no, he instead is the one who dies to Shot's Illidan, followed by Cuddy. And now Fires is going to follow next. Oh no! Unfortunately for SG Sublimation, they only have 2 people up, and they're cursed too, so they're going to have a hard time defending everything that's coming at them from Infinity Gaming.
They're going to have to really sit back and analyze what they can do to get themselves out of this situation. I wonder why Infinity Gaming, deciding instead that they want to use this time to grab the boss instead of taking those last few hit points away from that keep, which will fall anyway due to minions. So very smart use of their time and cost-benefit analysis there. They probably will be able to grab SG Sublimation's boss before they have to retreat, and they have solidly given themselves an advantage. So now SG Sublimation really has to figure out, all right, we have this cute team comp, but what can we do with it in order to make more space for ourselves on the map? As we know, our opponents, Infinity Gaming, will be falling back now to take their own mercenary camps.
We've actually got the level 13 talents finally for SG Sublimation, but Infinity Gaming are about to get their level 16 talents, but there is a little bit of time where they're on an even footing, so maybe they're able to sort of recover from the curse where they lost all their forts.
Do you think if we had seen all healing, or at least one healer actually going with multiple healing talents, that we would be seeing more success from SG Sublimation right now? Or do you think that they may be in the same situation no matter what?
I would have liked to see Jug of 1,000 Cups come out of Lily. I thought that was what was going to happen. The more healing from Lily, and then sort of a battle wing coming out of Brightwing with the Emerald Wind, so that it could keep Illidan off of Vala and Zeratul. But I don't know. Lily is more aggressive, in my opinion, because she's able to just sort of hit Jugs and Jug of 1,000 Cups and run away, and continue healing her team. So it's very interesting to me, the Emerald or the Water Dragon choice. What do you think?
Yeah, I wonder if they're kind of underestimating how tanky their Diablo can be for them, because I was assuming that the reason they had that dual support was to just multi-heal Diablo constantly so he could never die. But that's obviously not being the case, and we are seeing kind of Lily in a lot of solo situations, maybe trying to use her as damage. Really interesting. So I think you're right. I think we would have seen a totally different approach to this game from SG Sublimation if we had had more healing talents. But I'm interested. I would love to hear from them why they made these choices. And, we'll see as we go further into the late game, if we go much further, whether those talents pay off in any way.
The Water Dragon does slow, so maybe some of the sort of synergy they were looking for is a Water Dragon to slow, and then Gumball to kind of follow up with taking out the hero that's slowed, and then they have you know, a 5 versus 4 situation where they have more heroes. But regardless, more tributes should be spawning anytime. There it is right now. We've also got the boss on top, and both are in a very close situation. So it'll be interesting to me to see. Oh, it looks like Infinity Gaming is looking to catch somebody out. Shh. Oh. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it looks like SG Sublimation kind of walking by there and saying, you know what, we know that we're at a little bit of a disadvantage in a team fight right now. Maybe we don't want to run right into the tribute. Kind of taking it easy, and Infinity Gaming saying, nuh-uh, no you don't, we want to fight. And following them right into that lane where it looks like SG Sublimation is going to suffer for it.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it. Stage dive. Stage dive helps ETC make sure that he could pick up the tribute and then just hop right into the team fight. So Shot had already run in and was starting to deal damage, and then ETC just jumped in and continued the reign of terror that is the rock and roll.
Yeah, Shot feeling very confident in the ability of his team to be there at any moment. Shot jumping right in to grab those siege giants, even in the face of a Diablo and a healer who was there, or I couldn't see who else that was, but able to grab those siege giants very quickly and throw them up against that top lane, making sure that SG Sublimation had to do a little bit of defense, slowing them down, running toward the next tribute, while Infinity Gaming grabs their boss, again creating more and more space and more advantage for them to relax into.
Poor SG Sublimation wanted to just disengage from that last tribute. They didn't need it, but they weren't able to get away from the stage dive and the Illidan. They are trying to pick up this one, but Illidan's going to jump right in. The Rhaegar immediately healing him. The Water Dragon does drop on Illidan, and they're going to try to get something done, but they're going to try to disengage using that Emerald Wind. Unfortunately, Shot just metamorphosizes right back into the center of everything. He really wants to take out Cuddy. Meanwhile, Fires is also very low toward the back. ETC is going to make short work of Brightwing, and now Illidan's just playing cleanup crew. He is getting rather low, so he decides to back off. But they've still got the boss pushing, and they'll be able to continue pushing with this boss, especially since they haven't even lost any heroes, and Brightwing and Diablo are down for another 20 seconds.
Illidan has no right being that healthy after all of those leaps into that contested territory. Illidan paid no heed to his own safety, just flipping around and chopping people in half and just having full confidence that the rest of his team had his back. And that must be so frustrating for SG Sublimation as they tried to focus him down and did absolutely nothing. Illidan